Hello everyone. So in the last video we have seen the concepts of some analog outputs, and I was telling you, so likewise we have 0 to 1023 values for analog input. When we are willing to give analog output, we have 0 to 255 values. That means when it comes to analog input, the input value is broken into 1024 pieces. Okay, that is why we have 0 to 1023. And when we are trying to give an output, analog output, the voltage we are supposed to divide is broken into 256 units. That is why we have 0 to 255 values. Okay, so when it is analog input, the maximum value will be 1023, and I'm sorry guys, when it comes to analog output, the maximum value will be 255, right? I explained that. If that was a little bit messy to you, don't worry, while we are doing some code and practicals, you will understand this. Okay guys, so now let's say I'm going to take an analog output. I'm going to give an analog output from an let's not take A0, from a digital pin. Okay, so let's say pin number 7. Okay guys, so always remember guys, I want to tell this also, if you want to take an analog input, we normally use an analog pins, right? Analog pins. And if you want to use a digital output, if you want to give a digital output, we are using the normal pins, right? That's a digital pins, right? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, these things. Okay, analog input, we have these things. If we are going to give an analog output, okay, we commonly use digital pins. Okay, so remember guys, digital pins are capable of giving analog outputs. Okay, so analog pins, can it give or not? I actually don't know. I have to have a look and let you know. Okay, so digital input, when it comes to digital input, what we will do, which pins we will use, that we will see when we start the digital input scenarios. Okay, for the moment we mostly or commonly we will use digital pins to give analog output. Okay, so mostly the analog pins are used for analog input purposes. Okay, so analog output, we mostly use digital pins. We can give a try with analog pin and see. We will see that later. Okay, that's fine. So now let's say I'm going to give an analog output in a particular pin number 7, let's say. So now you know digital pins can be used to give a digital output and also analog output. No problem, right? You can use for any purpose. Okay, understand? Okay, that's good. So according to that logic, I can use pin number 7 to give an analog output that I want. So I said what are the values I can give? 0 to 255. And I also said when I am giving 0 units, that means 0 voltage. Okay, and when it is 255, it is 5 voltage. So that is the only confusion you may get with the analog input. Okay, so in the analog input it is 1023, not 255, but when it comes to analog to output, we have 255 only. Okay guys, so let's get into the code. So let me say, anyway, what I said you already is, whenever we are giving an input or output I'm sorry guys, we have to mention inside the void setup the pin mode. Okay, so I will say pin mode. So what is the pin we are going to use? Pin number 7. 7 input or output? Output. Okay, because we are going to give analog output. Okay, so whether it is digital output or analog output, both are output. So the pin mode is only concerned about this input or output thing. Okay, so no matter whether it is in an input, analog output or digital output, in the pin mode you have to say it is output. You know that, right? So obviously we are going to say pin mode 7 output. We don't care whether it is analog or digital. Okay, that thing we will see in the void loop, right? So the Arduino is now ready. Okay, it will remember, okay, I'm going to give an output in the particular pin number 7. I am going to give an output. Arduino is not aware whether I am going to give an analog output or digital output. It doesn't know. Okay, so now I'm supposed to give analog output value in the particular pin. Okay, so we are we are familiar of the digital output, right? So if I am asking you to give a digital output, that means an LED switch on or off, what we normally do, you will write digital, right, yes or no, and the particular pin and the value, right? If it is high, if it is low, it's low, right? That's good. Okay, when we are using an analog input scenario, what's the keyword we are using? Analog read. Okay, so now what we are going to do is analog output. So we can take the output here and the analog part from here. Okay, so otherwise in common sense, this is digital output, right? The keyword for digital output is this, digital output. The keyword for analog input is this, AI. So what now we want is analog output. Okay, so we want to take a mixture of it. Okay, so we have to say analog read or write. Write, that means output, right? So this is digital write means digital output, analog read means analog input. So we want the analog and the output. Okay, so that will become analog write. You understand? Or in other words, you don't have to worry about this. For digital output we are saying digital write, and for analog output we should say analog write. That's all. You understand, guys? Okay, cool. So I will remove this and I will say analog write. Okay, and then what are the parameters I am going to pass is, in the digital write, what are the parameters I am going to pass? The pin number and the value, right? High or low. Let's say pin number 7 high, right? Likewise in the analog write, again I am going to pass the pin number and the value. So here what is the value? What did I say? The values can vary from 0 to 255. So you can give any value in between the range, including the 0 and 255 also. You understand that, guys? Okay? So you can say 255 for the moment. That means you are giving the maximum value, right? Maximum limit. What is that? 255. That means you are giving 5 voltage. Okay, so when you are saying high also in the digital write, that is giving 5 voltage. Okay, so you are giving the same output that digital write is giving as saying 255. That means 5 voltage you are giving outside. Okay, so in other words, if you are saying 255, Arduino will take this its scale. Okay, and you know Arduino has a scale for analog output from 0 to 255, right? 256 units, and the scale is somewhat synced with the 0 to 5 voltage. Okay, so 5 voltage is divided into 256 units. I told you earlier, right? So when you are saying 255, and Arduino will refer this voltage both, and Arduino will understand he is meaning 5 voltage because I said 255 units. So then Arduino will give the 5 voltage output in the particular pin. Okay, guys, what I have said now is very, very important. This is the scenario actually happening. Okay, if you are saying the half value, let's say 127 for the moment I am saying, that is actually almost half, then Arduino will refer he is telling the half. So Arduino will take the number of counts and refer it with this voltage range. So it will find it is almost 2.5 voltage. So Arduino will give 2.5 voltage output in the particular pin. Okay, if you don't understand, don't worry, we are going to do some practicals so that we will understand it further. Okay, so for the moment you may understand, okay, 255 means I am giving the maximum value, that means 5 voltage. You can give 0 also. So if you are giving 0, it is like giving a low here, that means the lowest value, 0 voltage or ground. Okay, so you can give any in between values, 50. So if you are giving 50 here, the respective value for 50 units, okay, the respective voltage value of the 50 units will be coming out of the pin. That particular voltage will come. You understand what I am telling? Okay, guys, if you are saying 150, again the respective voltage for the 150 units for these out of these 255 units will be coming as an output voltage. Okay, so you will get varying voltage in that particular pin as an analog output. Okay, so in the input scenario you can think about that now. I don't want to confuse you. Now you can compare the analog input scenario with that. That is what in the input scenario voltage is coming inside, so that you are converting it into number values. But here we are giving the number value to Arduino. Arduino is giving the respective voltage outside. Okay, just don't worry, guys. If you don't understand, just don't worry. Rewatch the video. You will get the point. Okay, so just remember we can give different voltages. Okay, from the value 0 to 255 units. That means from the voltage value 0 to 5. Okay, you can give any voltage by changing the unit value. Okay, number of units. For that you can refer this picture. So what amount of voltage you want to give, you can give the respective unit numbers. You understand what I'm telling? Okay, guys, so I'll catch you up in the next video, guys. Until then, have a great day ahead, stay safe, and consider subscribing us, guys. Again, stay safe, guys.